is on a mission to make real change by facilitating solutions for our everyday lives. We'll be joined by professionals and influential individuals to share with you their journey and recipe for success. We ask about their methods and experience. Is it their career, their education, or is it their background? This is our secret sauce to enlighten, uplift, and empower the community where we are all special. Welcome to WeAfric Talk, where our support is our actions. If they don't believe you, tell them to subscribe to this channel. Welcome, my beautiful people. I'm super excited to have you here and the conversation we get to have. We have an amazing housing professional who'll be sharing their story with us. And when I say amazing, I mean it. What's so special about our guests is that they're very passionate about empowering the young and giving back to the community, and they are the living proof that the distance between you and everything you want is the amount of action you take. Welcome, our special guest, Angella Defoe. Thank you so much, Angie, for joining us today on WeAfric Talk. We greatly appreciate you taking out your time to talk with us from your busy schedule. For anyone who doesn't know who Angie is, can you please introduce yourself? Thank you so much.
My name is Angella Defoe. I'm a disabled advocate working in communities, which I have been for many, many years. I'm here to help anyone who needs help, especially the homeless and those who are sick and disabled, being disabled myself. But I have a law degree, which I haven't used for many, many years. So I use my legal expertise from what I have learned to the advantage of the people.
Wow, that's quite an amazing intro right there. Oh my God. You've got a lot of knowledge, you can definitely share with the community, and also in terms of helping the vulnerable and the homeless. You're doing quite an incredible job. How long have you lived in the UK, and how would you describe your life here?
Being born in England has had a massive impact on where I am and what I'm doing now. I've been all over the world. I spent a lot of time in Tanzania, Uganda, Kenya, Malawi, South Africa, Europe, Belgium, Italy, France, the West Indies, St. Lucia, Barbados. I've traveled. I've done quite a lot of stuff.
Wow, that's quite incredible. Where have you not been? I think is the question.
Oh, there's lots of places I intend to go still.
Okay. How long ago did you do the travels within Africa?
Between 2003, 2005, I spent time in Uganda, in Bubego village, which is on the west coast, just past Jinja.
I was born in Jinja.
Really? I know it. Wow. Small world.
I know.
Yeah, but not too far from your place, there's a place called Bubego village.
Okay.
And I met purely by chance Christopher Kasamabuli, who's an evangelist who's been helping orphans, the AIDS orphans and widows for many years, since the 1960s. And after hearing about him, I took it upon myself to go to Uganda and see what was going on.
Incredible.
And there I contributed into building a couple of orphanages in the school.
I'm truly humbled, and quite an amazing achievement. Were you working there, or did you volunteer? How did it all come about?
I just went over from the connection which I had. I heard that Christopher Kasawabuli was helping a lot of AIDS orphans, and he needed some kind of help and assistance. I didn't know what I could do, but whatever I could do, I was willing to help. So I went to see for myself, which was a massive wake-up call. The only thing I ever knew about Africa is what we read in books.
Wow.
And at that age, I was 46 at the time. My mindset was Africans were just running around in loincloth. So when I got there, it was a huge wake-up call, completely. Changed me totally, completely as a human being.
Wow, I could imagine. How's the work that you've done impacted in your life?
In a great way, because what I started all those years ago in Bubego village has advanced. The village which I had known at the time, which I still have pictures of, has progressed so much. They have a nursing home for the disabled, the orphans, the schools. The people who were running BIDA, it was called BIDA at the time, still called BIDA, were people in government and local authorities had been retired and just devoted their time to build this up. And it's actually paid off. They've done an amazing job. I should send you some pictures. It's absolutely amazing. All these years later, to see what we had started, progress to what it is now.
Please do send us the pictures. We can attach it in this interview at the bottom so people can actually just see the
Yes.
incredible work that you have done and in terms of progress and the action you've taken to make this all come to realization.
It wasn't just Uganda. I also have a school in Bagamoyo in Tanzania.
Okay. Wow. Any Tanzanians watching, if you know about the school, just let us know. All due to your hard work and obviously collaborating with like-minded people, which is brought it home and makes sure that it's all working and everything is still going on. What have you learned from the people that you've met and the people that you've kind of helped and the business people that you've kind of worked with? What have you learned from them?
That we're all the same, every single one of us, rich, poor, black, white, it doesn't matter. As long as you're part of the human race, we need to understand we all have the same feelings, the same fears, anxieties. And if I can help as many people understanding that, then it'll go very far. And that's exactly what has happened. And it's not about being humble. People talk about humbling yourself. I think it's about being real and being real to yourself and being real to others.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Yeah, you've got to be real. And I think some of the ways that we can actually do that is actively and proactively having open, honest, transparent conversations. Absolutely. To realize that, if we don't do this, you're not really solving any problems. And you've proven that it doesn't really matter what kind of position you're in. You can still contribute a massive amount to
we all
society.
Have something.
Yeah. How much do you think our culture have to do with the type of person we are?
Well, me personally, I don't think it's got anything to do with culture.
Okay.
It's got a lot to do with knowing who you are and why you're here.
Okay.
And if you know who you are and why you're here, you just get on with it. Culture is a barrier. Love has no barriers. Absolutely. And what we do out of love to help others, you don't put anyone in a box, no culture, no community. We treat everybody the same. They would understand and open up a lot more. When people open up, we can help them and they help us. We're helping each other.
Yeah, it's a different point of view, which I really like, actually. Because
I'm glad.
No, because we tend to almost kind of draw towards society, and the media kind of pushes towards us in terms of us really not making decisions on knowing who we are, as you said. And if we just treat everyone equally without pigeonholing anybody, you can do so much more. But some people have a different agenda, as we know. Absolutely.
As far as I'm concerned, what I do is to do with the entire human race.
Yes.
Everyone
I think
benefit.
I totally concur and agree with you. It should be about race and the human race rather than this color, that color, this continent, that continent. Race is often discussed for many reasons. Why do you think we should engage in these conversations as individuals, especially things like the workplace and society, and what kind of outcome can we expect from these conversations?
I think people treat you the way you allow them to. If you go anywhere confident in who you are, you will not feel or sense any form of racism. That's how it works for me.
Wow.
But everybody has different experiences, don't they?
Yeah, of course. I think that's what it kind of boils down to. You do have a valid point right there that you should be proud of who you are. Be confident.
Always. Yeah. But what is going on around us, as far as racism and stuff is concerned, shouldn't affect who we are, because it's what's going on within us that's more important. And if we concentrate on what's going on within us and what we're doing, there'll be no barriers. I mean, the people who help me the most are the Muzungu. This is the Muzungu, which is the white man who has brought me thus where I am, not because he's white. It's because when you meet somebody in a different environment where things are already happening, you can only learn from them. And I have learned a lot. They have taught me a lot, willingly, because the people I've been talking to, like the councils, the police, they see what I'm doing. I don't need to explain myself. It speaks for itself.
Excellent. Yeah, I think as long as you show the work, the calling out things should not really come into play. They should really see you for what it is that you are actually doing. And then that will kind of show them, okay, look, at the end of the day, they're doing good. They're helping our community. They're helping our society. That's all we need.
It's helping the human race, really. Mother Teresa left her home in Albania at the age of 17. She knew exactly what she had to do and what she was supposed to do. And when I was a child, I wanted to be a nun, so I thought. But when I
Okay.
grew up, I realized I wanted to be like Mother Teresa. I wanted to do what she's doing, and that's what I'm doing now.
I know you spoke about we need to find ourselves. How can we go about doing this? Is it a case of us changing our mindsets? Or is it a case of hanging around with a different type of people? How can we go about it?
We all have scars. We've all been through something. People went through slavery. The Jews went through Auschwitz, concentration camp, but they moved on. Why can't we? You know, they've moved on. They've made a go of it. We just need to come to terms with what has happened, accept it, no matter how outrageous or how it was destined to hurt us. The fact that we're still here shows that we're survivors. And if we have survived, we need to show the world, like my greatest hero apart from Jesus Christ, which is Nelson Mandela.
Yeah.
You just love. As long as you love the human race, you can make anything happen. You can do anything. People will hear you, embrace not the culture part, because I think the culture part is a massive barrier.
Okay. For me, I love having conversations like this because, it kind of shows you from a different angle that understanding your past, accepting that you need to contribute to the present, to have that kind of vision of seeing what you want to see for the future. And it all comes from the self, as in dealing with yourself and then dealing with the community. And then obviously then you can kind of come in terms of group economics where you work together to kind of achieve the same goal.
Yeah. I think us as a people who are very free in spirit, that you have to be completely free to understand it from all aspects, from all angles.
Yeah.
And people are locked in their way of thinking because they've got nothing else to compare it with.
Yeah. How can we change our mindset, the way we think?
We can't change anybody. I'm a Christian, by the way.
Okay.
And Jesus didn't heal any blind man. He healed the blind man who wanted to see. We can only change if we want to. It's what we want. You either want to stay where you are or you want to progress to what you're supposed to be.
Excellent, fantastic. Honestly, you're dropping some really crown jewels here for our viewers. It tends to be a tendency that people are boxed in, and as you said, unless you're ready, the door doesn't open. You really need to be ready within yourself to understand that, okay, I think I do need to do something. I have a calling to make a difference, make a change, contribute. There's just so many things that we need to do, but it starts from us. It doesn't start from anybody else.
Exactly. It starts with us and it ends with us. Yes.
Yes. The structures almost, I don't know if they do exist to a certain degree to promote our diverse languages. What responsibilities do you think we have as individuals to educate ourselves, let alone passing on the knowledge to others?
Learn as much as we can from each other. I learned when I went to Tanzania, I learned to speak Swahili. When I went to Uganda, I learned to speak a different Swahili.
Yeah.
And when I got to Kenya, the Swahili was even more different. I think if we learn just a little bit from each other's language, there's no point in saying I don't understand. If I want to understand you, you have to teach me your language because I'm willing to learn, and I will teach you mine. You understand? And that's what it's all about, connecting.
Yeah.
Teaching each other, learning from each other, learning each other's cultures, why they do certain things, because people are more accepting of others when they know what it is and why they think the way they do, their customs, the way they bring up their children, their values, their priorities, their loves, their dislikes. Yes.
Wow. So 3 different types of Swahili. Okay, I'd not quite appreciated it because I started recently learning it. Kiswahili.
Kiswahili.
Yeah, so I'm learning it. I'm from Uganda, but unfortunately, my mom didn't teach me. I speak my Acholi language from the Acholi people in the north of Uganda. I want to learn Swahili as well. So, but now you're saying there's 3 different variations.
There is, yes. Yeah. But I speak a few languages. I speak Italian, I speak English, I speak French, I speak Patois, I speak Hindi and Punjabi. I speak a bit of Arabic, and I'm learning to speak Chinese Mandarin at the moment.
Oh my God, I think the conversation has just gone to a whole new level here. Oh wow, Angie. This is
Because
just
that's what you asked about language. The more we learn, the easier it is for us to understand people, you know?
I really need to ask you this. What is the drive that you have to always excel and keep on pushing forward so people can understand exactly what it takes get to that level that you are at?
Every single one of us on this planet has a gift, and every single one of us on this planet is here for a reason. The only currency we have is time. And in that time, we need to learn as much as we possibly can, do as much as we possibly can for the good of mankind. And if you have a compassionate heart that loves unconditionally, you can make anything happen. And when I was in Uganda, I learned to say, Hakuna kwa Mungu kisichowezekana. And that actually means that with God, nothing is impossible. As long as you have a personal relationship with your maker, you can make anything happen. We have the power to make anything happen. Something we need to tap into.
Yeah, I think it's quite incredible what you've done, what you're continuing to do, what you've demonstrated that can be achieved, all based on just giving yourself that opportunity and knowing that you want to do something and being driven. This whole conversation is really kind of giving me a refresher. Sometimes in life
Oh, that's nice.
you get a refresher to say, look, at the end of the day, I'm trying to achieve, but there's levels and you really need to go through the stages, and you're demonstrating that we really need to get going right now.
You know, when us as a people, to me, is the human race.
Yes.
We have to love each other unconditionally, knowing that none of us are perfect. We all
Yeah.
make mistakes and we all have faults. But you got to love each other anyway, because that's how God loves us. And we're part of Him. Whatever religion we may be, we're all part of God. That
Yes.
breath, when we breathe our last breath, goes back to Him. The same breath is put into us to give us the opportunity to make exceptional things happen on this planet. We all have it. I don't mind giving up my time, any day, once a week, to go and speak to people and explain to them what I have understood, my purpose and destiny on this planet is all about, and to just go ahead and do it. And anybody who wants to do anything, maybe help them, just give them a few little tips and say, well, there's lots of ourselves we have to let go of, which is our past. The past has to remain where it is, in the past.
Yes.
Learn from it and move on. We don't need to have avenging thoughts towards our oppressors or our last ancestors' oppressors. That's gone. That's part of history. That's what shapes us. And we need to learn from it and do things differently, understand things differently.
Just incredible. I think when people watch this interview, I just hope they realize we've just been given a masterclass in how to progress and what we are all capable of doing. I want to know how people get in contact with you, maybe help contribute to the work that you're doing.
We have a website which will be up and running by tomorrow. We're just doing minor, adjustments to it.
Yeah.
And there's an 0800 number which will be on there. Shall I give that to you now? Or?
If you send me the number, what I'll do is I'll include the number. When the interview is out there, what I'll do is I'll include the number part of the conversation so people can have a look and then how they can kind of contribute to Ultimate Solutions and help out.
So, Henry, what I want people to know is, especially now through this coronavirus, lots of social issues have risen.
Okay.
If there's any single people who are claiming any form of benefits, who are on the streets and need to be housed, we have supported housing that we can offer to them. The process could take between 24 to 36 hours, and it would happen very quickly, where they will get support in any issues, whether it's mental health, whether it's addictions, whether they want to go to college, get a support network together. They will get all the support that they need to help them to achieve that. We also have people who are going through domestic violence, not just women, men go for domestic violence as well. So we help them. We relocate families into much greener pastures outside London. People who in this country with limited to remain, although they work, if they find themselves in a terrible situation, facing domestic violence, we can put them through what the system has in place to support and help them to stay here legally and also draw in or take some of what's on offer. But it's surprising what people don't know. There is so much information out there, and people just need to know that there is somewhere they can go and get help. You know, if it's just even for the councils, the social services, all the names that people are afraid of are the very agencies that can do so much to help them. And their mindsets need to understand there is ways of doing things. If they need like a Macmillan friend, so they call it, or an advocate, I'm one of them. I don't mind helping and assisting anybody in any way, shape, or form. There's the disability side where accessing the right benefits and those who get the benefits stops if they're disabled to get all the right information sent back to them to get their cases, you know, reassessed and reinstated. Those who are facing eviction, those who have made themselves intentionally homeless, every single one of those situations has a solution. And I have an answer, I have a solution, and I can actually put them in direction of how to get those solutions to the other communities who are struggling, because I can't do this on my own. So I need you all. We all need each other.
Yeah.
We all need each other.
Yeah. I think you might be quite bombarded with a lot of requests after this goes out. Do they just email you, or do they just go to the
They
website?
can email. There's something on the site, or they can send an email or leave a message. Every message will be picked up because it's well monitored.
Okay.
And they will get to speak to me directly, depending on the complexity of the case or their situation. Anyone who's stuck in the middle of the night with nowhere to go, especially families, can call me anytime, 24 hours a day. I have access, direct access to all the councils who can get them sorted out for emergency accommodation straight away and to be assessed the following day if it's a weekday.
Oh, fantastic. So anyone who's in need of any help, what we'll do is we'll put all the numbers in the comments down below, and you can definitely contact Angie, and she'll be more than willing to help, basically point you in the right direction if she can't find a solution for you. But obviously, Ultimate Solutions is the company that she runs that does all this incredible work. I just wanted to touch on, because I remember you said earlier on during the conversation that you're working with a disability. How's that kind of impacted your life, and also in terms of what kind of disability is it that maybe our viewers don't understand or know about? If you can just let us know, please.
Well, I have had ill health all my life, but it wasn't until 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, even when I was in Uganda, I was very, very ill.
Okay.
And it was established that I have MS. And MS is a neurological condition. I can't take any stress. Stress will basically throw me into a relapse. And relapse mode is where you cannot do anything. You cannot move, you cannot speak, you can't do anything for yourself. Your nervous system just numbs you, slows you down, your speech slurs. And I have used Ultimate Solutions to help me, in a sense, being a neurological condition. If the brain is kept active, then the body and the illness would control itself. But it's worked for me. Whenever I get too stressed, I know exactly when to rest, you know. And but throughout the last how many years I've been in a wheelchair. I mean, everyone knows we've been in a wheelchair. I've been in a wheelchair for years. In that, I have learned a lot from the side of disability, the challenges that they face, the discrimination that they face, the way they're being treated. I have first-hand experience because I felt their pain and know exactly what they're going through. But while this is going on, there is the legal aspects of things, which we could use to show people and help people into, well, this is wrong with you, you cannot do this, access certain services, and knowing how the Disability Discrimination Act protects disabled people and helping people to understand that you're not alone. There's places to go, just like people who are seeking refuge from domestic violence or people who are seeking refuge for somewhere to live if they're homeless. Same thing with disability. There are organizations and places you can go to for help. A lot of people don't feel comfortable with that, and I don't understand why. So they all come to me. I don't mind helping, you know.
Yeah.
I don't mind helping collectively. One to one is good, but I don't mind being in a place where there's hundreds of people to explain to them exactly how to go about doing things, accessing resources, services, the help that they need, and then they can then pass it on to other people in the community. So that's how it spreads, you know, like the domino effect. Tell one person, they tell, but if you tell 100, then thousands will benefit. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing. Honestly, it's just, yeah, I'm kind of speechless just to kind of
Oh,
think about, so many people complain about so many things and yet they're doing nothing about it. You're demonstrating that regardless of your position, regardless of what has happened, just understand that you can contribute, you can make a difference. And obviously, you're also, this idea which I have is almost reach one, teach one. You're doing this at a level of just greater capacity that people just need to realize that we all need to just get up, look ourselves in the mirror and say, look, it's time to start doing something. Even if it's just a little micro step, but it's just going to be little micro steps every day and then until you reach the goal that you want to reach.
yeah. I think when people feel low and they feel down, depressed, what is that? That word doesn't exist in my being. You know, the minute you feel that somebody is out of character, the first thing I will do is go and find somebody to help.
Yeah.
Because while you're helping someone, it takes the focus off yourself. The best antidote for self-pity is to help somebody else.
Yeah. So I think everyone heard it there. The best antidote for pity is to help somebody else.
Yeah.
Reach one, teach one.
Amen. Absolutely. Amina.
So what is the long-term vision of Ultimate Solutions? What do you plan on doing with the company?
Well, I intend, well, seeing as we don't realize that we're masters of this planet. We have dominion over every living thing on this planet. And I intend that every single one of people who we come across to teach them the way can be free. You can be free in prison. Nelson Mandela was free in jail, and I'm free in my disability. We need to
Yeah.
be free in our minds. It's a very, very, very powerful thing, the mind. For the common good, helping as many, the human race, as we can. Teach somebody, help somebody, love somebody. Let it be unconditional. Because anything conditional can open up into something much greater. No conditions. I will help you if. There's no ifs. I will help you because you need help.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
If you ask for my help, I do the best I can and I will see it to the very end, to the best of my ability.
Amazing, amazing. So towards the end of the show, we usually give our special guest 2 minutes, but for you today, you can have a whole hour if you want. Honestly, it's like this conversation can just keep on going on forever. I think it's really eye-opener for a lot of people, and I think a lot of people who watch this will definitely concur that this has been gold moments, as they say.
Yeah.
So yeah, we usually give like the 2 minute window for you to kind of give advice to people, maybe talk about the amazing work you do, whatever you really want to say to our audience, just so they can get a sense of your message.
Yeah, first and foremost, we do a number of things at Ultimate Solutions, starting with the people who are on benefits, especially now for COVID. A lot of benefits have been cut. People are uncertain about their rent, the housing benefits, the child tax credits. We step in when things go wrong. If it's stopped, we get it reinstated. If there's certain things happening, if there's questions they're asking about overpayment, we step in. The DWP, I pick up the phone, tell them the story, they tell me what's going on, and we find that solution. Then we've got people with doctors, PIPs, disability allowances. The doctors need to write certain letters pertaining to those people's ailments and disabilities, which will help to contribute to the authorities making the right decisions for them to be qualified and awarded the benefits which they need. So we do that as well. Appeals, we do that. Mandatory reconsiderations, we step in, we do all that stuff, talk to the benefits agencies. But there are people who are genuinely ill. I am surprised. There's so many disabled people who are suffering because they don't have a voice. They don't know what to do. They don't even understand the encyclopedias they call forms, because that's what they look like. They're massive, And I liaise with the GPs, explain to them, ask the doctors how they can, help to support these people's applications. And those are the genuine cases, of course, because I've also met people who say they're disabled and they're not. We don't have time for those. We're there for those who genuinely need the help.
Yeah.
We also help people who are facing evictions, repossessions, whether it's private landlords or the council. It's people who are in rent arrears. There are certain facilities in the government that is there to help and to stop and prevent homelessness, prevent that sort of thing. So we can basically go in and advocate on their behalf, negotiate their cases. Everything is negotiable. That's what people don't realize.
Yeah.
Just because you get a letter telling you they're going to throw you out doesn't mean it's the end of the world. It's an opportunity to stand up and fight for what is yours, And if you can't fight for yourself, find someone who will fight for you. That's what it's all about. Then we've got like people who are here on limited leave to remain, who've been married. They've got their spouses over here, and the marriages are broken down. There's certain things in place that the Home Office will put to help these people, as they understand, especially now with COVID. I mean, I've had so many DV cases, that's domestic violence cases, especially now. I've been working throughout. Most of the time, the ultimate solutions worked in the past, but practically those who didn't have money didn't pay, those who did pay the contribution. It's been a long journey, but we've changed a lot of lives, and we can like to continue to change as many as we can. Whatever the problem, people who are in debt, people who've got bailiffs letters, every single thing. I don't know what it is that God has put in me that's given me some kind of wisdom to do these things, but I'd like to use what He has given as a help and teach as many as I can. Apart from that, I'm just an ordinary human being that is just used for special purposes. If that's what God wants, then I will use it, for the good of the human race, because that's what it's all about. Loving each other unconditionally. It doesn't matter what anybody says about you. It's only what your maker says about you. And when God created man, He said it was good. And that's what we are. Good. We must know that.
Amazing. Honestly, just incredible. So, I think everyone should take note of your advice. If they need help, reach out. If you have any kind of conditions that you're shy about or do not really feel comfortable talking about, find a friend, reach one. Hopefully they'll teach you something different and maybe a different way of looking at things. We all need to believe in ourselves that we can do it, and the possibilities are endless as long as we kind of give ourselves the opportunity, the surroundings and the knowledge. Just anything is possible. What do you think about the WeAfric project that we are currently undertaking?
I know that you talk to lots of different people from all around the world and what they do, and I think it's great. We just need to amalgamate. Not this is mine, this is your section. We need to amalgamate, put it all together, because it is united that we stand. United and divided we fall. Together, we are going to be a force to be reckoned with. We are a people. And when I say a people, we are a nation of the human race. And if we all come together, a lot is going to happen. All the evil in this world will completely fade away if we all stand together and do what is right for mankind and for each other.
Excellent.
That has to be first and foremost. So once you're committed to doing that, everything else will fall into place. WeAfric, I am because we are.
Thank you for watching the latest episode of WeAfric Talk. We hope you enjoyed the conversation as much as we did. Be part of the WeAfric family, subscribe and share. And remember, we're here to shake things up, reverse the flow, and be great. I am because we are.